Hi, this is Michael Buckhoff from BetterTOEFLScores.com. Today, let's talk about who versus whom. These two words are pretty popular in both speaking and writing, so you want to be careful that you're not confusing these. You can actually do a little bit better on your speaking and your writing scores if you don't confuse these kinds of words. Okay. Who is a subject relative pronoun? It's actually used to replace a subject. Now let's take a look at two sentences. The woman got applause from her classmates. You have the woman spoke in my speech class. These are two sentences. Now, for the sake of demonstrating advanced grammar, we want to combine these two sentences. Now, there's a few steps that we need to do in order to combine these correctly. Let's take a look at these steps. So, step one, determine which sentence will be the dependent clause, and that's the sentence you're going to use a connector with. So I'm going to say that the most important idea here, and maybe it works with sequencing, is the woman got applause from her classmates. This is going to be my main idea, and then this second sentence is actually going to be my dependent clause or support idea. Let's go to the next step. Step two. Replace the subject with a subject relative pronoun. This is your second step. So let's go ahead and do that and see what happens. So we take this sentence and we're going to replace it. We're going to replace the woman with the word who. So now we have who spoke in my speech class. Let's go on to the third step. Combine the two sentences. Place the adjective clause directly after the noun it modifies. Now remember here, it says directly after the noun it modifies. This is important for adjective clause placement. Okay, so in this sentence, we have who, which means the woman, not classmates. Now once we combine this would actually not be correct, and 3 of my grammar students in grammar class today did this. They wrote sentences similar to this. The woman got applause from her classmates. Who spoke in my speech class? It creates an ambiguous meaning. It sounds like the classmates were speaking instead of the woman. I think who goes back to woman, not classmates. So we're going to go ahead and cut this. And we'll paste it here. So now we have our final sentence here. The woman who spoke in my speech class got applause from her classmates. Whom is an object relative pronoun. It replaces an object. Let's take a look at two sentences. A woman bought a house 3 days later. A bank teller granted her a loan. Now there's a few steps involved in combining these two sentences. So let's take a look at these steps. First of all, step 1. Determine which sentence will be the dependent clause. So let's go back and check that out. So again, you have a woman bought a house versus a bank teller granted her a loan. And to me, buying the house, I'm going to make the main idea, and the support idea will be a bank teller granted her a loan. Let's go to the next step. Step 2. Replace the object with an object relative pronoun. Now remember, we're dealing with this second sentence, so we're trying to identify an object here. We actually have two. We have her, and we also have the word loan. But we know that her goes back to woman. Loan does not refer to anything in the previous sentence. So when we combine these two sentences, I think the word whom is actually going to replace this particular word here. So we type in this. A bank teller granted whom a loan. Now obviously we can't leave the sentence like this. Doesn't sound right, does it? So let's go to the next step. Step 3. Place the object relative pronoun in the beginning of the sentence. This is our next step. So you take the word whom and you place it in the beginning. So now we have whom a bank teller granted a loan. Still, we want to try to combine these sentences together now, so let's see what the next step is. Be careful. As always, adjective clauses have a very strict word order and they need to be placed close to the noun they modify. Here we go. Combine the two sentences. Place the adjective clause after the noun it modifies. So let's see how that works. First of all, let's go ahead and combine them together. And of course, whom here does not refer to later, but it actually refers to woman. So I think this idea, we're going to go ahead and cut it. And remember, we're going to put it directly after the noun it modifies. So now we have a woman whom a bank teller granted a loan bought a house 3 days later. Now, one other possible error that you might make here, I see this also in my grammar class, is the student will actually keep this particular pronoun but also use the word whom. So then that would actually not be correct. Remember, delete this pronoun once it's been replaced by this word here. There you have it. And this is the difference between who and whom. For more information, go to michaelbuckhoff.com.